Hey everybody, this is day 19 of being in the hospital. Um, Let me show you what I got going on here. I feel like I got freaking braids like in my arm, like I'm just swinging them around, but that's actually my pick line. So they can run all the IVs straight through my bicep muscle. It goes through my muscle, through my armpit, across my chest, and then straight down right above my heart. And that's where the antibiotics are being delivered, directly above my heart. And that's where they can also take as much blood as they need to run tests and stuff. But I didn't mean to post such a long video yesterday. And like I said, I normally wouldn't talk so personally about my health, but I'm kind of glad I did, because it brought me to a breaking point to where I I prayed all throughout the night, asking for guidance, with asking, not just asking, but and not demanding, but getting the answers that I need to be told truthfully. Not answers, or that is just supposed to ease my mind for a little bit. I'm not that stupid. So after another sleepless night, after having a splitting headache, after having to take Valium because of how bad my nerves had got, it's like I said, I finally broke. And that's not something that, a lot of men will admit, like, hey, I finally broke, like completely broke down, just. And so it basically gave me from 10 o'clock last night all the way until 8:30 when my doctor came in my room this morning, to where I just laid in bed, tossing and turning, constantly, praying, constantly second guessing myself, just thinking about every scenario possible, especially when it comes to already being a paraplegic. But then you get like test results back, and there are parts that they have not explained to you truthfully, saying that well, actually you have a type of bone infection on my spine. I didn't know that. They never told me. So as soon as 8:30 rolled around this morning, I was up, no sleep. Like I said, no sleep at all. I have to stay up so long that my brain has to like manually start shutting down, and that's basically the only way I can get some sleep. Sorry for moving my hand. I'm trying to keep this light out of the way, but like if I turned it out, you wouldn't be able to see me. But but I kept my doctor in my room for over 2 hours, and every concern that I've had since day 4 of being in the hospital, since day 5, day 6, day 7. when nothing was getting better. Finally, on day 8, when they switched me to this unit, like, I am on pain medication because of what I have to live with. That's when my spine, the rods and screws, is just too much. I mean, I'm not on anywhere near of a high dose that I used to be, and I'm actually grateful for that too, because I want to be able to function. I don't want to be like, I don't want to get high off of taking medication or any illegal substance. I mean, there's, after numerous blood tests and urine tests, nothing illegal has showed up in my system. The only thing that showed up is a little bit of marijuana, and I told him that helps with my anxiety, that helps with my appetite, it helps just with numerous things. And being that they sell it in gas stations here in North Carolina, well, I mean, at least that's kind of like my excuse. But either way, when she first came in, she just said that she knew that, like, I had been waiting all night to talk to her. And when she came in, I mean, I straight up just looked her dead in the eye and I said, Dr. Baker, I was just like, I have a feeling in my heart that there are things here that y'all are not telling me. I don't know if y'all are not telling me because I'm already this stressed out and having anxiety attacks, like, because she even wanted to prescribe me to, like, possibly 2 other anxiety medications. And I tried one before and it made me throw up. And I don't like that. I don't like taking medicine just to throw up. And being that I'm completely numb all the way up to my diaphragm or right under my breast, like, it's already, it makes things so much harder. And then when you get, like, your MRI results back, and it's been Monday and today's Thursday, and not one person has came up to try to explain them to me. So I wanted answers today. I said, I know there's things that y'all are not telling me. I just feel it in my heart. My heart doesn't lie to me. That's the only thing that my heart, my father, my best friend, like, family, they don't lie to me. They shouldn't lie to me. They don't have to lie to me because I am who I am. I don't change. I don't ask anybody for nothing. I don't, it's like I said, I don't partake in illegal drugs or any activity like that. I have a beautiful life. I mean, other than being in a wheelchair, like, life is beautiful. And it can be so much more beautiful if you are willing to go that extra mile. But instead of rambling on, I ended up telling her that I either wanted these answers by, the end of her shift, or in the morning they could expect me to sign myself out and transfer to UNC Chapel Hill, which is the #1 hospital in all of North Carolina. And it's like I said, I had her in my room for a solid 2 hours. I read to her the results from the MRI. I read the results from the x-rays yesterday from being like backed up and having a stomach that just was miserable. I mean, I don't really know how to explain the feeling I had with my stomach, but it's a feeling that nobody should have to go through, especially when you're in a hospital and they have access to things that can help, like get you on a more steady like routine. So, and I don't complain. I take my medicine when they give it to me. I make sure my arm is totally free for the IVs when I have that. But once I told her that, I either want the answers today or I'm leaving tomorrow to go to Chapel Hill. She sat there and she listened to every word that I had that concerned me, every sentence, every time that I almost broke and became emotional. Like I fought through that and was able to get out what needed to come out, and said, if they have the results, they know what's going on, because I did over 3 hours of research myself yesterday. So I have nothing but time, like have nothing but time in the hospital. I mean, even that's what my watch says right here. I've got nothing but time. So for over 3 hours, I tried searching anything that could cause, your entire stomach becoming numb, completely numb, to where you can literally take a knife and stab me like in my abdomen. I would not feel it. That kind of numb. So after, talking for probably after about the first hour, she said she wanted to go to the neurologist. She wanted to go back to the neurosurgeon, to the neurologist, where they can look at my MRI and they can tell her the actual results, what the truth is, and not what just needs to be said just to kind of ease somebody's mind. Because at the end of the day, it's like I said, I'm not stupid. I know I got plenty of shit going on. I mean, I came in, and so when it came to the neurologist, I felt, well, not just actually through them, but through somebody in my family who I cannot thank enough. And they know who they are. They know I have nothing but love for them. And I will get to see you and meet your family. And I can't wait. When I get out, I got places I gotta go. But thanks to someone in my family taking time to, read everything, that's how I found out I had a bone infection in my spine. They have not mentioned that to me the whole time I've been here. 18 days. Remember, 18 days was yesterday. Today's number 19. I got 24 more days until the 21st, when I'm supposed to be discharged. When it comes to having the infection on my spine, on my bone, like on my spinal cord, that's one thing. But just that, and then being constipated, that's not going to cause you to lose all the feeling in your stomach, making you like a T2 or a T3, which was wrote down in the results on Monday's night MRI. And honestly, the scariest thing you can tell somebody who's a paraplegic is that they're leaving as a quadriplegic. That will terrify anybody. So she ended up talking to him, and she told them like what needs to be done. Like, because the first guy said, oh, he just needs to have a good movement, and like things will start feeling normal for him again, blah blah. He was basically speaking out of his ass. Like, when you come to somebody's room for less than 3 minutes trying to explain like some results that was just an hour long, like the test was an hour long, just don't waste my time. So either way, what we did was, first of all, after having x-rays done yesterday and was able to, read and show her like, hey, I'm backed up everywhere. There's nowhere else for anything to go. Sorry, but I just have to say it the way it is. So, like, she went ahead and she ordered something that helped with that tremendously. And that has to be like actually specially ordered from their pharmacy, because you can't just get this kind from Walmart. You can get the other kinds, but you can't get this type because it's so strong. But it definitely doesn't feel like I'm 7 months pregnant anymore. And being that I can grab my stomach with one hand and hold on to like a flap of it and move around like it's jiggly, like, I feel like I lost maybe up to like 8 and 9, maybe even 10 pounds from what happened. But to get to the most important part is that with the bone infection on my spinal cord, it's not just a bone infection, but I also have inflammation and swelling that is pressing against my spinal cord. And being that I was so backed up, it was pressing from the front, basically kind of like lying down and just being smashed from both sides, top and bottom. It's putting a lot of pressure on the nerves that are in my spine. That's why I don't have feeling in my entire stomach, because of the swelling and the inflammation. So she ordered a steroid, which she's going to have me take over in the next 5 days. And that's the time period that I'm willing to work with, is the next 5 days. And like, I know it's not going to be like an overnight or like 2 nights. Oh, like I'm, almost feeling back to myself. Like, it could be the whole 5 days before everything isn't numb the way it was. Or it could be a little bit longer, because the way I was explaining the swelling and the tension that, like, the swelling that's pushing and the inflammation on my nerves, it just needs a really strong steroid. So for the next 5 days, that's what I'm going to be taking, is a really strong steroid, in hopes that it will reduce the inflammation reduce the swelling, and eventually give me back all of my feeling from my belly button to to lower on, because that's where my paralysis line is my belly button. I'm a complete T8 paraplegic. So not only did I get the answers I was looking for after praying all night, after coming to my breaking point, but today was also the first day I was able to shed a tear. And it wasn't a tear of, being angry or being lied to, or not necessarily lied to, but having things kept from me. But after the rough morning went, after the 2+ hours of having my doctor in here, just intensively listening to all of my concerns, making sure that she got the right answers, making sure there was nothing left behind, nothing covered up. Everything was out in the open. And so I know what's going on. I'm very clear-headed. I'm very focused. And as I said, I've got 24 days left before I'm supposed to be discharged. I'm sorry, there's a gentleman that is in a separate section on this wing, and he will literally scream help, nurse, or a mixture of the two for hours on end until he either literally just makes himself fall asleep from exhaustion from yelling. But it is hard being on this side and having to hear that. Especially when you don't know the person, you don't know they're going through. And I also found out that the wing that he was on about a week ago before they moved him over here, all of those patients were just complaining, saying that they were going to check out and leave because of this one person. And I was just like, how can somebody be so heartless? He could be going through the worst time in his life, because from what I heard, his children just dumped him off here since he has insurance, and because he has nobody come pick him up, they can't just roll him out and say you're discharged. They can't do that. So I have 2 sets of earplugs. That's how I get through the night. That, and with a little bit of Tylenol. All I'm allowed is 2 pills of Tylenol. But so within the next 5 days, I'm gonna be starting a steroid that is supposed to, like I said, take down the swelling, take down the inflammation, and give me back feeling in my entire stomach. Because I don't know what happened between making the video I did yesterday and making this one. But it's like I said, I can't lose my faith. I can't. I'm not ready to, and that's not something that I would ever do, because obviously God still wants me here. If he didn't, I would have died in the first 3 days of being here. When I have 4 out of 5 major infections running through me, I didn't even make sense. They would ask me a question, I could say what my name was or something, but then after that I would just start talking just random stuff that made no sense at all. And that's because of what was going on just with the blood infections. It was a perfect storm. Being diagnosed in the last 3.5 years and then given 3 different antibiotics that didn't work. Of course, that bad blood is going to sit somewhere in your body until it hits your bloodstream. And when it mixes with the other infectious blood that's been there, something's got to happen, whether it's positive or whether it's just like lights out for someone. That's what I was dealing with, was a life or death situation, playing with my life. But it's not that simple. Like, I wasn't just playing with my life. I had to get things in order before I could just come into the hospital. But yeah, it's like I said, on day 19, after all of this, like I said, I got my emotions back, because after the hardest night that I've endured, and after the longest, talk having with the doctor, finding everything out now, I looked down at my phone and I had a text. I had a text message from my pastor asking how this week has been for me, and just keeping in touch. Now, if you can't tell me that's a sign, don't try telling me nothing. Because I'm hard-headed as hell. I ain't gonna listen. Because when I seen my brother in Christ's name say, "Good morning, Adam. How are you doing? How's this week been for you?" I was able to get out the right letters on my phone to where he knew I got good news, basically. Because instead of sitting here and just waiting, I demanded the right answers, not the ones that just they want to hear so it would just calm them down. No, that's the worst thing you could do to me. Like, do not hide some shit just thinking this will spare my feelings, because that doesn't work for me. And it's just like I said, if that wasn't a sign, then I belong in a mental ward instead of where I'm at now, because I can feel it in my heart. Especially when I told him that it meant the world to me, just him checking in on me and saying hi. And when he said that's what brothers are for, it hit me in a way that I've never felt. And it took a lot of weight off my shoulders. It took a lot of shit out of my mind. And it's lifted my soul. And here I am on day 19 with the right answers. We got a certain game plan in action. And there's no quit in this old dog. Like, I don't know how to quit. That's why I've got it tattooed on my arm, never give up, because I don't know how. It might take me a while to get there, to find the right answers, but I'm not going to give up. So, I'm sorry this video is like almost 10 minutes longer than the last. I meant no intentions of it being that way. But I just had to share the news, because it's like I said, I got the answers that I needed. Not just what somebody wanted me to hear. So, with that being said, I can hear everything being prepared outside, because they have to give me a like some stuff, and then they come back at 10 to give me my medications, and so I'm gonna hop off here so I can give Miss April my full attention, because I have a wonderful staff tonight. A wonderful staff, like probably the dream team if there was a staff I could actually put together and say, hey, I would love to have these ladies be my nurses, be my CPCN second. Like, these are the best ladies I have come in contact with in 19 days, or yeah. So, but let me get off here, and I just want to say thank you, all of y'all, and I love y'all.